Hello, students, and welcome once again to Limitless English with Mr. Reyes. So far today, we're going to have the book Worldlink 2 on the Unit 3A. So listen up so you can get the instructions on the things that we're going to do. The first thing that we do is that we check up the first page that he has and we read it. He says here, look at the photo and answer the questions. What is unusual about the tree in a photo? So look at the tree in your book and check what is unusual about that tree. Can scientists explain this mystery? And what other mysteries do you know about? Can your science explain it? So this section or this topic is more about basically things that we cannot explain. So think about it. What are things that you cannot really explain that they are a mystery? Unit goals, very important. You always want to check the unit goals so like that you can know what is it that you basically want to learn or what is the objective when it comes to the unit. So say how likely something is, talk about states and feelings, say if something is possible or impossible. And we're going to talk about that in the class. Explain a mystery. Okay, so you are the one that is going to start explaining about those things that we got there. The next section, we have a very nice video when it comes to this section here. It says, Lesson A, you are in luck. And you are going to go a little crazy with this video. It says video, the luckiest or unlucky man to ever live. And it's your choice in order to say if it's lucky or unlucky, depending on whatever happens here. All right. He says here, Frank Selleck is called the luckiest or unlucky man to ever live. Why? Complete the information about Frank with the words in the box. So watch the video. And after you watch the video, then make sure that you complete this section that we have here. It says read the questions and answer on the left. Watch the video, then put the events in order. So you got to put these events in order. This is basically what happened. Number one, he was in a train crash. And after that, then you put them on the rest of the order. Why was Frank lucky? Each time, watch again, match its events 1 through 7 with a reason. So after you complete the first section, then you need to put the reason why it happened in that aspect according to what they say or according to the information that they give you over here. Answer the questions with a partner, and that we're going to do in the class. What lucky thing happened to Frank in 2003? Why is Frank the luckiest, unlucky man to ever live? Explain. So get ready, so like that we can explain those things in the class according to your idea or to your opinion. So watch the video, and then we'll continue to the next page. Make sure that after you watch it, in your book, you complete these sections, okay? Watch.
Meet Frank Selleck, an elderly music teacher from Croatia, and depending on how you look at it, either the world's unluckiest or the world's luckiest person to ever live. His unbelievable yet true story begins on a cold winter's day in 1962. Traveling from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik, a fault with the line caused his train to jump the track and plunge into the freezing river below. While other passengers were killed in the crash or drowned in the sinking wreckage, suffering a broken arm, Frank managed to escape and swim to shore. Little did Frank know at the time, but this incident marked the beginning of a series of bizarre events that would occur over the next 40 years of his life. The following year, while traveling aboard a small plane bound for Rijeka, disaster struck for a second time. Mid-flight, both engines stopped working, cabin pressure dropped, and the plane began losing altitude. You might have thought that this was probably the worst thing that could have happened, but you'd be wrong. While the plane plummeted towards the ground, a malfunctioning door blew off, and poor Frank was sucked out of the aircraft. Tumbling through the air without a parachute, Frank must have thought he was a goner. But while the plane crashed into the side of a hill, killing all 19 on board, Frank somehow managed to land in a haystack and survived with only minor injuries. Another 2 years went by before Frank's next brush with death. This time, while traveling by bus, ice on the road caused the wheels to lock up and the vehicle skidded through the safety guard and into the valley below. 4 passengers were killed, but not Frank. Tired, or perhaps terrified, of public transport, Frank began to travel mostly by car. but that didn't seem to help either. In 1970, his car engine burst into flames, but Frayne was able to jump free before it exploded. Then, 3 years later in 1973, the fuel pump in his new car ruptured, causing another engine fire. But this time, the flames were blown straight at him through the air vents. Needless to say, he survived this too, albeit with less hair than he began with. In 1995, he survived being hit by a bus. And in 1996, a careless truck driver forced him off the side of a mountain road. His car plunged 300 feet and exploded in a ball of flames. But Frayne wasn't in it. Having somehow jumped out of the window, he was found clinging to a tree some way down the cliff face. Now, Frayne's story may have ended there, as since then, Frayne hasn't been involved in any other death-defying incidents. However, there is one last twist to this man's incredible story. In 2003, at the age of 72, Frayne bought a lottery ticket, his first one in over 40 years. He won the jackpot, safely securing his place as the luckiest unlucky person to ever live.
All right, so make sure that you watch the video again, because we want to make sure that everybody understands the video, and we are going to talk about this video in our class. Crazy, lucky, or unluckiest man in the world. According to you, you let us know what is your opinion in that aspect when we get to the class. All right, second section, it says answer the questions. This is about the vocabulary. Lucky people have good things happen to them. Are you lucky? Why or why not? So answer. Do you ever do things like wear a lucky color for good luck? Or do you do anything to avoid bad luck? That depends on the things that you think, or maybe what they told you about. What is it, right? Write down some notes about something good that has happened to you. Did you do it on purpose? You plan it? Or did it happen by chance, by luck? Do you make decisions based more on facts, like true information about something, or on your intuition? It's basically like your feelings. Something tells you, hey, I have to do this, and you just do it, and then it comes out good. But you let us know and explain the reason why. What lucky objects do you know about? Do you own a lucky object? Where do you keep it? And how does it help? Let us know. We want to get that information. It's better to be lucky than to be smart, or do you agree or disagree with this statement? Why? So that means that maybe for some people, if they are lucky, then they are not smart because they are just lucky. But is your opinion? Let us know, and we're going to talk about that in the class. All right. Ask and answer the questions in A with a partner, and after we answer them, everybody's going to discuss according to their opinion, because we might have different opinions. You might think that it's luck. You might think that you're smart. Whatever it is, we are going to deal with that in the class. Do you do anything to avoid bad luck? And do you believe in bad luck? Good question. People say that sleeping on a crack in the sidewalk is bad luck. So I don't do it. Some people talk about like black cats, and they say that black cats, they give you bad luck. But that's what they say. I mean, we're going to talk about that in the class. Some people think that seeing a rainbow is a lucky sign. We don't know. You let us know, and we're going to talk about that there. Let me hit down the information that we have here to make sure that everybody is on it. All right, listening. Say these three words. Look up any words that you don't know. Then listen and repeat. Interesting. Generally, everywhere, and finally. So I'm going to play the listening so you can complete this section.
In American English, speakers sometimes drop syllables when speaking. You don't need to be able to say these words with the dropped syllables, but you should be able to recognize them when you hear them. Listen to the pronunciation of these 4 words and repeat. 1.
Interesting. Interesting.
2.
Generally. Generally.
3.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
4.
Finally. Finally.
Make sure that you repeat it again, so like that you can get a good pronunciation on those words. Read the sentences. Which one do you agree with more? You talk to a partner. Some people are just lucky in life. You can learn to be lucky in life. Hey, that's a good question. But let us know, what do you think about it, or what is your opinion? All right, listen for this. You'll hear a talk about psychologist, Weissman, and his research on luck. Listen, which sentence in B, one or two, does he believe? Circle it. So listen and complete. And then we're going to check in class your answers.
Are some people just lucky in life? Is good luck something that happens by chance? Or can you learn to be lucky in life? Can you increase your chances for good luck? Professor Wiseman is a psychologist, and he studies luck. He finds it interesting, and he wants to teach you how to be luckier in life. He says we don't become luckier by chance. It's something we can all learn. Professor Wiseman believes that lucky people share at least 3 of the same habits.
And we hope that we can get that investigation in this so we can learn to be lucky. But listen and complete. Make prediction. Listen for details. Read the statements below. Do they describe lucky people or unlucky people? Make predictions, then listen and check your answers. Write an L for lucky people, if you think, or write U for unlucky people. Write B if it is true for both types of people. So if it's only lucky, you put an L. If it's unlucky, you put an U. If it's lucky and unlucky, the two, then you put a B. That means both. So listen and complete.
Are some people just lucky in life? Is good luck something that happens by chance? Or can you learn to be lucky in life? Can you increase your chances for good luck? Professor Wiseman is a psychologist, and he studies luck. He finds it interesting, and he wants to teach you how to be luckier in life. He says we don't become luckier by chance. It's something we can all learn. Professor Wiseman believes that lucky people share at least 3 of the same habits. First, unlucky people spend more time alone. Generally, they don't like to try new things because they don't like surprises. Lucky people, on the other hand, talk to lots of people. They are friendly and often looking for new experiences everywhere. By having more friends and more experiences in life, they increase their chances of having more lucky experiences too. Secondly, all people have to make decisions in their lives. Professor Wiseman says that lucky people make decisions in a special way. They often follow their intuition. They listen to their own feelings more than not. Finally, both lucky and unlucky people have bad experiences. However, they respond in different ways. When a bad experience happens, a lucky person says, "Well, it could have been worse." They imagine the worst result and are happy because they didn't experience it. Even in bad experiences, they find the good in it. They have a positive attitude.
We have a positive attitude. I say we because we could say that it all depends how you take things. Good and bad things are going to happen to you. Make sure that you answer according to what we have there, an L or an U or a B. And in the class, we are going to discuss this with the other partners, so you can give us your ideas. Answer the questions with a partner. It says here, was your answer in B the same as Professor Wiseman? Do you agree with him? Why or why not? Well, you could think that it might not be true or it just doesn't work for you, whatever he says, but we'll talk about that in the class. Look at the statements in D. Which ones are true for you? Many cultures have lucky charms. The maneki, neko, is popular in Japan. All right. He says here, go online and learn about a lucky charm that is used in another culture. Tell the partner about it. And when it comes to you, do you use a lucky charm? Hey, good question. Let us know, just in case. On the next section, I think I skipped a page. Let me see if I can get it here. Exactly, I get this speaking. I like this speaking too because it's talked about how many basically you got in there, but it's alright. It says Nico and Sandra are talking about a new article. Listen and answer the questions. What did a woman in New York City do, and what is she going to do now? So read it and think about those things. After that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to play the audio so like that you can practice this section of conversation. So listen to it so like that we can practice this in the class with a partner. The idea is that you can get the pronunciation of this conversation. Listen.
Anything interesting in today's news?
Yeah, I'm reading about a woman in New York City. She just won $25,000.
That's a lot of money. Did she win the lottery?
No, she guessed the correct number of candies in a jar.
Really? How many were there?
7,954.
Wow, that was a lucky guess.
I know. I doubt that I could do that.
So, what's she going to do with the money?
I don't know. Perhaps she'll go on a vacation or use it for school.
All right, so if you need to practice it or if you don't understand it, listen to it again. And once you get it and you listen to it and you will know how to pronounce it, then we're going to practice that in the class with your partners. All right? He says here, speaking strategy. On the lines below, write 2 things about yourself that are true. Write 1 thing that is a lie. I'm going to talk about it. And please use this useful expression to make sure that you understand what they are. If not, you can always investigate. Talking about possibilities, saying something is likely. I bet that Marco plays the drums. Marco probably, that means a little less, plays the drums. Maybe, perhaps, that is like in the middle. Marco plays the drums. And when you say something is not likely or that is negative or that you don't think that is true or that is possible, I doubt that Marco plays the drum. And speaking tip, it says here, you can use are you sure to ask if a person is certain about something. So Marco plays the drums, you say, and then if you are not like you don't believe it, you're like, are you sure that Michael plays the drums? What is it? He says here, get into groups of 3. I'm going to do this in a classroom, or 4 people. Follow the step below. One person tells the group his or her in her sentence, the other one. Ask the speaker questions to find out which sentence is a lie, and use useful expressions. And you're going to say something that is a lie, and you want to ask questions so like that we can basically investigate or find out if whatever it is that you're saying is a lie. All right? And guess which sentence is a lie. If you guess correctly, you get a point. Change roles and repeat steps 1 and 2. And yes, we're going to play this game in our class. So get ready, read it, and make sure that you got the instructions. On the next section, we got the grammar section. And that is good. I'm going to read everything for you. Then I'm going to put the video about the grammar. So like that, you can have it and you could repeat it and make sure that you are practicing. It says here, complete the exercises, then do B and D below. So you got here believe, know. You need to investigate what are the thinking verbs. And that's not easy, but make sure that you go around. What are the having verbs? What are the feeling verbs? What are the sensing verbs? And what are other verbs that are stative verbs? And in the class, because your homework is always to investigate the grammar before we start the class, you need to tell me what is the difference between a normal or regular verb and a stative verb. Why do we use the stative verb, and what will be the difference that will specify that is a stative. And we're going to talk about that in the class. Don't worry. Look at the stative verbs in the box below, then add them to the chart at the top of the page. We got here belong, hate, hear, like, own, smell, think, understand. So those verbs that I said, though, they go in the lines here. So you got to find if they are thinking verbs, if they are having verbs, if they are feeling verbs, if they are sensing verbs, or if they are just other verbs, if they're not connected to the ones we got there. Okay? He says here, read the story below, circle the correct form of each verb. Use the present continuous whenever possible. So make sure that you complete this section, and then we are going to check in the class with the verbs according to the stated verbs. If not, the ones that we use the present continuous. If you don't know, then make sure that you are investigating. Okay? It says winning the lottery. To most people, like great luck, unfortunately for the winners, it's often the opposite. Ian Walter, for example, won $1 million in a lottery 5 years ago. Suddenly, and then you put the answer, a lot of money. He explains it will last forever, and you spend it quickly. And then one day the money is gone. These days, blank, with my sister temporary and in a small cafe. A car because I can't afford it, says Ian. It's not so bad. Though, I know that money can't buy happiness. Okay, money and happiness. Hey, that is a good line. Each day and to the future. So make sure that you go around, you read it, and that you are able to put which one is the answer. I live, I'm living, I don't, I am not owning, and so on, the ones that we got there. What I'm going to do now, I'll read this section so that you can complete it. After you finish with all the grammar, you answer the questions with a partner. Winning the lottery seems like good luck. Do you agree with this statement or not? Do you think money can buy happiness? Yes or no? And do you need a certain amount of money to live? What do you do to appreciate every day? So let me play the video for you and make sure that you watch the video a couple of times so you could understand it. And after you watch the video, you complete the exercises from the grammar. If not, investigate.
State of verbs. State of verbs describe states and feelings, not actions.
I love to go on picnics. We know our neighbors very well. My best friend and I agree about most things. He seems like a very kind person.
State of verbs are not usually used in the present continuous.
I am loving to go on picnics.
There are some state of verbs that can be used in the present continuous. However, when used this way, their meaning changes.
I think the assignment is difficult. In this sentence, think means believe. I am thinking about the assignment. In this sentence, think means consider.
Okay. Please make sure that you repeat the video a couple of times so you could understand a lot more and investigate about the stated verbs. Well, that is your homework. Let me go to the next section so like that we can give you the instructions on the things we got here. So like that we can get ready for our class. He says here, read the story in communication, then look at the photo without looking back at the story. Answer these questions with a partner. Who is Carolina Sanchez? What happened to Carolina Sanchez around 12? What happened to her son at around the same time? And how did Carolina know? All right, so check that story, read the story, then look at the photo without going back there in that aspect. Now, it says, on the morning of February 19, Carolina Sanchez said goodbye to her husband and 17-year-old son and went to work. It was a normal day, Carolina remembers. She went to lunch at the usual time, 12 basically. Suddenly, she started to feel terrible. I had a strong pain in my chest, near my heart, says Carolina. The pain came and went quickly. It was like very strange. 2 hours later, Carolina got a phone call with some bad news. Her son was in a car accident. Luckily, he wasn't hurt badly. The time of the accident, 12:02 p.m., exactly when or around the time that she had like that feeling. And I know that you're thinking about it. It happens to a lot of us, but we're going to talk about that in the class. All right, so discuss the question with a partner. How did Carolina know that something was wrong? How? Some people think that mothers have special abilities. Do you believe in a mother's intuition? Do you believe? And what about like twin brothers? It's like they communicate with themselves without even talking. But we'll talk about that in the class. All right? So think of a time when you had intuition about a situation, or when something strange happened to you or someone that you know. Complete the chart with your notes. Who is the story about and what happened? Tell your story to a partner. All right, so we're going to leave it here as of now for Limitless English with Mr. Reyes. We are completing the Unit 3 on Worldlink 2. So make sure that you complete this section, so when we get to the class, we are able to talk about the answers and your opinion about all these things that happen. Thank you very much for listening to Limitless English. Bye-bye. See you in the next one.